And we're
Fine.
live. Hey everybody, it's Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I need to push the tweet button on my tweet button thing.
Oh, Narnia.
Button push. Continue.
What?
Yes. Okay. Indeed, he lonely was the Englishman dining all by himself. I don't 100% remember what we're doing here. I think we're just pressing stuff.
We have to
Hold on,
cross-examine
there's a history
fools.
button. Oh, okay, yes. Alright. Yes, what we read now... Yeah, okay, Cosmo was like, what we need right now is clues, so basically we're just pressing stuff.
We're just looking for shit. We're trying to suss
Yes!
out the sussiest of the sussers.
So you actually saw that with your eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone. Yeah, that I did. Forgive me for the position I place you in. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. What
A
fucking...
photo of only one plate!
As can be clearly seen, there was only a single beefsteak on the victim's table, a meal for one. There's gotta be some sort of fucking clue in this picture that I'm just not seeing. Right?
I hold up my hand in court. Everyone stops. They turn to me. I lean into the mic and I say, maybe the other person wasn't hungry. I walk away.
I mean, and there was only a...
It just bothers me that they're like, this is indisputable. And I'm like, it's very disputable, actually. I could dispute it with, like, 4 words.
Wasn't hungry, though. No.
Wasn't hungry. Or thirsty. That's my 4 words. The antiques dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. Pretty sure all I was doing for this guy was just being slightly dramatic, and that was it. Like I'm fucking doing a bad Yami Yugi impersonation.
Exactly.
There isn't
the Dan Green.
The Dan Green. This isn't Godo, because I warned you that we're doing the new one. As Steven explained previously, since Swissy is out of commission due to circumstances, we are playing this game on any of the days where Swissy would have been streaming with us. Instead, Godo will simply have to wait.
Take that.
Take that. It's not impossible, they're all lying.
But why?
But if so, then why?
That's what I said.
I know, I heard
Hit the
you.
wrong button. If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. He starts a lot of sentences with, if I'm being honest. Therefore, no one other than the blah blah blah. Yes! Yes!
Yes!
Why aren't you telling the truth?
What do you say, cadet?
I clearly remember. Are you really gonna give me a flashback about this? There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor.
He's being a little shit. You being a little shit there, little guy, being a little shit.
Well, the guy's just a little scamp. Perhaps one of you might not
Little
have noticed.
scamp.
But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. This incredibly suspicious framing is really good. They're just like,
Unfortunately for you, Defender Naruhodo. Doesn't Naruhodo mean like, oh, I see, basically?
Something like that.
Or close. It sounds like that, right?
Right.
It's Naruhodo?
Yeah, it's like, I
not...
see, or something like that. I don't remember.
It's not just a case of these 2 witnesses alone.
Sorry?
Are you eating a goddamn...
Maybe.
The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. I have to keep actively reminding myself not to do the full for this guy. Because I'm about to every time I open my mouth. Narado means something like I see or I understand. Yeah! That's what I thought. That's the pun in his name.
Uh-huh.
There it is, we found it. He also said that the victim was alone.
That's right. Precisely. In other words,
Steven?
You are the sole proponent of this phantom lady. If such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. And if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatant waste of the court's time. There's nothing I can say to that.
Dot dot dot. Excellent work, Ryounosuke. We've gleaned some new information now.
Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. The Ryounosuke's family extends the last about Naruhodo instead of Naruhodo, I assume. Well, yes, but I read that already. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light.
I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you've got there.
What the fuck does it say?
Ah, all D's.
Caused by the bullet did not pass through the victim's body. I know that. Like that was the first thing I read, but there's not like a wait a minute.
No, medical report card.
Wait a minute.
The other one. The other one.
Medical report card.
Medical report card. That one. The thing he got.
He hasn't told us the infos on it yet. Let me see. I was thinking that we would see like a bullet hole on one of the seats or something. For a second, I got excited. No. Oh, you mean this? Yeah, I guess this is really the only new piece of evidence we got.
Though it's omitted, often omitted when localizing. Though it's omitted, often omitted.
It's omitted, often omitted, often.
It's omitted, often omitted. Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. You didn't even think to look at those piece of paper, did you?
How
idiot?
Exactly?
You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are ones you may examine. Press A, and you can take a closer look at the piece in the question. In question. Just in question. Your mouse is on the screen. Use right stick up, right stick down, left. Right stick, use arrow key up, arrow key left, arrow key down, and use right stick down, right stick
Oh no. Oh no.
to rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. And all devils.
By using
the left stick up, and left stick left, and left stick down, and left stick right. You can move the crosshairs to hunt for clues that you may have missed before.
Okay.
If the crosshairs start to pulsate, press A to investigate further. Why is investigate in that
so
font?
big? I don't know.
This is the strangest series of sentences I've had to read in a while. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learnt by examining it in more detail.
Alright,
I feel like
I'll see what I can
learnt
do.
is a British thing, too.
I need to use and to inspect the areas of evidence that look suspicious.
You suck, Steven. I read all of them. Come on. You could
Medical
try.
report card required for every visit. What does it say? Dentist. Oh, it was a dentist.
A dental appointment.
What's this? It's open.
Maybe he couldn't. Oh, maybe he couldn't have eaten because he had just been to the dentist.
Oh my god, you're right.
Sometimes you can't eat after going to the dentist.
What is this?
Pulsate is an upsetting word. I think it's one of those ones that just never is used for anything good. It's kind of like how pungent can technically just means a strong odor, but it's always used to describe bad odors. You know? I feel like pulsate's like that. Like, no one ever says pulsate to mean something good. Pulsating mass. Yeah, there we... Yeah, exactly. You see what I mean? It's kind of like how throbbing has a connotation to it. Despite the fact it means the same as pulsating. Anyways, let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia.
Oh, there's no way that bitch was eating.
Nah, dude, not a steak.
You mean he had a tooth taken out?
It would seem so. Just before the incident, he'd had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief.
Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain.
Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed.
Really?
I wonder what that means.
Strange.
Sounds like information worth bearing in mind.
Medical reports information has been dated in the court record. This new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes.
So, I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you?
Definitely. Right, so it's almost the same thing. I actually would like to... Can I examine any of these other pieces of evidence, please? Can I please?
No.
Chief Inspector Satoru Hasunaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Interesting.
Oh, he's a cop.
Interesting.
There it is. Well, that's unexpected.
What is?
Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hasunaga.
Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point.
I'll kill you, Ryounosuke.
I have a sword. I'll do it right now.
They wouldn't even convict me for the crime. They would be like, yeah, he was a little shit.
I'm not going to use a guide for the smaller guy because I haven't played this one before. I want to figure it out myself.
Yeah, this is one time Steven's gonna... Well, okay.
Just
skip my line.
Oh, I thought you said it. Sorry. Chief Inspector Satoru Hasunaga.
Look at his job title.
Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth?
I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here...
Waiter's business card information has been updated in the court record. Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to know from that. What about these other things? I mean, there's this... the photos I'm not as interested in because you can't, like, spin them around. Yeah, this is literally just
a sure? Did you try?
University color pin. You know, you got a good point. Let's just...
Just zoom. Ooh!
It's just a magnifying glass. It's really hard to tell what I'm supposed to be... I'm trying to get his nose. There we go. Look at that.
The nose.
I hit the wrong button. I meant to hit B and I pressed A. Okay, so even if I caught it, it was basically the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun in black. Furthermore, visual search confirmed there were only personnel present. Alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. But that's...
Was he?
I don't think so.
That's kind of impossible.
Yes!
Because he couldn't have been. Yes!
The hand raise gets me every time.
Yeah, the crazy eyes into the hand raise.
Sorry, chewing.
About what are
What?
you winners
Steven,
then?
I
Call
want to...
yourself
No,
a
shut the
lawyer.
fuck up. You stopped mid-sentence to eat in the middle of your own line that you read.
But first and foremost here, I'm the accused.
I'm gonna piss myself, and it's gonna be your fault.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I've pissed your pants.
Ryounosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it.
Thanks, Kazuma.
I could see it quite clearly in your cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, purposefully. You knew exactly what it is you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking.
Oh no. Alright. And thanks for the advice. Deep breath. Korakuta-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim. I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. The wet slap sound effect gets me every time.
It's the I like the fact that he's also surprised by how shitty of a sound it is.
He's like,
So he looks at it.
something clearly doesn't add up.
Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur?
Sorry, what?
You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel.
But
Let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant.
Yeah, it's not.
yeah,
That.
but that's
Would you believe if I told you that people ship Kazuma and Ryounosuke?
I
What? Really? They
I would.
do?
I would believe
I
that.
would not believe you. That sounds impossible. Why would you even?
There's no gay shipping in Ace Attorney.
I've never even seen one gay ship in my life. The straightest ships you've ever seen. They can't even turn.
It's incredible.
Remember, Ryounosuke.
Don't even have rudders. It's crazy.
There's no steering at all. No steering on these ships. Remember, Ryounosuke. You don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just call him an idiot. Make
Your
him feel
Excellency,
bad.
I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further.
Ran out of breath halfway through that one.
This trial.
The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could possibly have perpetrated the crime.
Oh shit! This medical report card has nothing to do with the case. That was an actual desk slap. Did you hear that?
That was an actual smack, yeah. It caught me off guard. He didn't look at it. He's gonna go through character growth
yeah.
of desk slapping.
Do you really believe that? I want to see so bad. I want his like fucking animations to get like better at as he goes on.
They must, right? Like he must get more confident. Otherwise,
it would be so good though.
It would be really good. I want him to smack the desk late game and it just shatters in half. He's just broken it by the sheer conviction in his hands.
What?
He's beginning to believe.
The outburst half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant?
Well, now
Perhaps
that you're
because
rock
Hata
hard.
Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic.
A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me?
Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result the victim had been forbidden from
His
eating.
eyes have stopped shaking. Steven, do you see his eyes aren't shaking anymore?
Yeah.
Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what?
It's all written up here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while the anesthesia wears off.
What? No, that can't... I didn't even read that thing.
Korakuta-san,
What, boy? What?
as you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all.
No.
Additionally,
There's more?
of course he didn't.
Of course he did.
The
He's
Pains
Pain,
never
he
read
sucks.
their own evidence.
They have a lineage of sucking.
You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case.
Oh, yeah, he's doing it. Grr.
Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic.
Yeah. Blah, blah.
Expertly done, partner.
Yeah.
The pause before he says partner really gets me.
What is this nonsense?
You know that's used in smut somewhere.
It's really good.
What is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations. Just look at the photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection! Oh, that was Kazuma.
Yeah, well, he doesn't say objection, Ryounosuke doesn't. He says yes.
At least not yet.
It's less clear, but you know.
His first objection is gonna
Look
be
it up.
so
Look
good,
at that.
though.
Oh, when he says it? Look
Yeah.
at my boy. He's finally starting to calm down.
Yeah.
He's getting it. Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic?
Oh shit!
How dare you?
I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned.
Excellent.
I had the biggest shit-eating grin on my face when I got to read that. I hope you know. It was so good.
Incredible.
Wouldn't you agree, Ryounosuke?
Yes, most definitely.
So, having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum.
Whose fucking steak is that?
Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beef steak? The court will now hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel?
The only thing missing was him putting on sunglasses. Right? He was already doing like the best fucking "I'm about to make a pun" pose.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it?
Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of the turning of this trial. Show them what you're made of.
Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been me. And as of yet
unknown third party.
Yeah.
Woman, yes. Yes,
Obviously, can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection! You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person.
Yes!
Yes! There was, because I saw her.
When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. And we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else eating it.
Ah.
We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witnesses' testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a... I thought it was about to be like, I will cut down everyone here.
I'll kill you
We
all.
will lodge a formal... We will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly.
Kazuma?
Are you insane? You would take on the government?
Fuck the government. Don't worry, Council. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have issue with... Ugh. I have issue with them. Those two witnesses in the stand.
What?
What are you talking about?
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, it was a little what you're talking about, Willis, wasn't it?
A little bit.
A little bit. We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that the two of you had deliberately lied when given your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury.
Perjury?
And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing.
Oh, fuck. Complicit in murder? Yeah.
Maybe Dr. Watson just really wanted a steak. Wilson? Dr. Wilson?
No, negative.
Oh, look at the baby. Look at the little wind wheel.
Oh.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
There's no mention of this at the tactical meeting.
The what?
I was just following orders.
That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they, told us. Oh, shit. Oh. What? What did you just say, Korakuta-san? Oh, why is he thumping? No.
They do be thumping,
You were
though.
just following orders? Now hold on, lad. I was,
Say you never saw the gentlewoman. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas?
What?
Objection!
An English woman?
What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements. Is this true, you pair?
Just one. Just one simple slip of the tongue. Order!
Oh no.
Aw, dang.
Order! Order! Council, explain what is going on here.
It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this.
Then who's behind this? Who
Damn
tried
it.
to make you keep your mouths shut? Well,
That's classified.
look at the baby. He pulled on the mustache.
The moustache. So you're prepared to be tried as conspirator to this murder, are you?
You wouldn't. This can't be happening.
Ryounosuke. Judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Ouchie had any idea in it.
What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It can only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose.
The police, huh? Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit.
So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut.
Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield this or his or her power here.
But how can we possibly...
Remember how we made progress before?
Before? The thing I already did?
We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it?
I
For
hope
example,
not.
that business card you turned over earlier. We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose.
I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe.
Please, wait. Your Excellency, I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god, I knew nothing.
Oh, I think that's a few Shinto gods, right? I think aren't there like a couple? There's like
think
several
so.
at least.
I think, yeah.
I think that's many Shinto gods.
Yeah.
And what does the defense have to say about all this,
Well, Your Excellency? No time to think. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head.
Oh, I guess it is a good thing that we looked at that card.
Yeah. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate these witnesses... I mean, we'd have the option to look at him right now, I think.
Oh, I see. It's me. It's Kazuma.
It was Kazuma, that bastard.
That bastard.
No,
I've
it was
always
clear.
hated him.
No,
It was
clearly
clearly
this bitch.
Hasanaga.
Yes!
The one whose name means snake.
Well, surely that would be
Mr.
Satoru
Stream.
Hasanaga-san. Fucking
Mr.
what?
Stream, y'all did this Tuesday, and let me be very happy to not be hearing Asagi speaking in foot lettuce. Well, that's because Swissy's not here. There is no foot lettuce
There's
of all
no foot lettuce
involved.
to be had.
None of it's. I don't think Steven would let me get away with a foot lettuce voice on this one. So, but yes, we did surprise everyone, including me, with the Tuesday stream because we're just doing this now while Swissy is AFK for a while. Yeah, so this series is just planned to be just myself and Steven.
It's gonna
So
be
it should
great.
be a fun time.
Not since
myself
Pokemon
and Steven and
Platinum
you.
Nuzlocke.
Man, that was back when I only first started talking about boneless snakes on stream.
I know.
How the years go by. But yes, it will. Before I forget, it will be us, but also you, the viewer,
Yeah.
at home
Yes.
or wherever you are. I guess.
Yes.
You could be like in the woods. Yes.
Hi.
Hasanaga-san? The waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection! Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make the witnesses give false
Sorry.
testimony? Not to mention the
Really
fact that
got
even
me.
a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. He's so ready. I love when he
Yeah.
does this pose.
It's really good.
If that is, the man were truly a waiter.
What? If he truly were.
Come on, Ryounosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hasanaga-san's real identity, as proven by this evidence.
Yes!
Let's see. Good old Soup Josh Nuzlocke days. I know the classic. I'm all but finished with the first game in the package deal. I don't know if I'll play game 2 next or buy the
The
what
world,
sequel?
the world ends with you.
Ah, what's that?
It's
Do you know what that is?
I haven't played it. I know of it. It's a Switch game that.
Ah, I see.
Well, I mean, it got remastered for the Switch, and then they released a sequel for it recently. Or it's not out yet. I don't remember which.
Very good. Yeah, I keep forgetting this is a 2-game bundle because it was like 2 remasters.
Yeah.
That's good value. That's a lot of sauce.
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question?
Also, do you like how this fucking idiot, this dumbass cop, fucking drew the fucking plan on his own business card? Like, of all things? This bastard couldn't find any other piece of paper?
Nope.
He couldn't just ask the court for it? He was like, no, I've got to pull out my own cop business card and flip it over and draw
Which
this.
I'm not sure why he had a cop business card on him when he was a waiter.
Presumably, Yeah, well, he was presumably either undercover and or trying to be nefarious or something, right? Like, why would he?
Why would he be carrying
Did
his
he
own?
think they
Why
just?
would he be carrying his business cards?
He's a cop. Did he think that the courts don't take the evidence? That he just gets to keep it?
I don't know.
When?
It's crazy.
Whenever. It was the baby, Nova. It was the baby.
It was.
The baby did it. We all know
did
the
it.
baby did it.
My grant shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything.
Sorry, Your Excellency, that's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest.
So, I beg your
front?
pardon?
The front?
Did you say excellency?
Or perhaps I should have said the front. Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is.
Oh, A-back. All babies are cops.
Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say?
Hasanaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession.
The waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious!
That's right, Your Excellency. He's a goddamn cop. The card reads Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What?
Imperial...
The waiter was a police detective?
God damn it.
I haven't heard any mention
Oh.
of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
The Imperial Police Bureau. For some reason, my brain really wants to mangle the phrase Imperial Police Bureau, and I
Imperial
don't know
Police
why.
Bureau.
it wants to be like Imperial Police Bureau. The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power, absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. The sequel came out same day as this did, after 14 years of not having a sequel. Jesus,
Yeah,
that's a long wait.
That's a long wait.
That's
Happens
almost
sometimes.
as long as a. Listen, in 4 more years, that will be the same amount of time since Elder Scrolls came out. Think about that one. So, witnesses there in the stand.
Eh,
Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene?
Well,
yeah. Hold it, says someone.
Is it the
Presumably.
waiter?
Yes, of course.
There he is.
Inspector
cop.
Hosonaga. This music is very good. I was
It's like
worried
evil
something.
cathedral music.
I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my
This wasn't
sketch as
his
evidence,
voice.
I realized it was a possibility.
Or are you changing it because his other voice was a disguise?
I don't know. Sure, we'll go with that.
the court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
Oh, well,
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
So, you mean to say you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working at a restaurant as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course! Your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter working undercover.
Incidents at the restaurant. What kind of incidents?
That's classified, bitch. That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of this homicide.
Very well then, Inspector Osanaga. But you will elaborate on one point for the court.
Of course, Your Excellency.
We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would have also been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume...
In fact, I'm pretty sure you straight up denied it.
that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct?
Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable!
As I suspected.
Bang! As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to have been an Englishwoman.
So the truth comes out.
Does Bruno Mars is gay?
Does Bruno Mars is gay?
I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would have been in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. What? The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect... well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question.
So, that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case.
But it's not right!
For English relations, blame them for everything.
Fair.
It's England's fault yet again.
As are
One
most
possibility. One
Especially around
possibility
this
does
time
spring
period.
to mind.
things. What do you mean, Kazuma?
Yume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman.
What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. What? You mean... when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first.
Then the court demands that you name the young lady in question at once, Inspector.
The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. What?
Giselle.
Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign exchange student studying in the research laboratory of Yume University's medical faculty.
What? What is happening here? No one
no
ever
one told poor Ouchie anything.
No one tells me anything ever in any time.
Sorry, I was getting real
You.
stuffy. I'm sorry. I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with this situation.
Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, the victim was dying alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection! But, Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom.
Hell yeah, dude.
Bitch. Inspector Hasunaga.
Yes, sir.
I like this judge a lot, by the way.
Yeah.
Really good. He's a little less bumbling old man than the current judge, who I adore,
Right.
of course.
Right, of course.
I adore him and his bumbling antics, but this guy's got a little more authority happening.
Yep.
You will locate this
What were we going with? A
Giselle?
Giselle?
I guess Giselle. I don't know how else you would
Giselle.
pronounce that.
Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency.
At once, Your Excellency. Are we ever gonna find out why he's coughing up blood?
But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau.
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem? Well, nothing will get in my way. Okay. Alright.
Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency.
Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening.
To be continued. I would love to save, please, thank you. Beep, 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 beep. Well, it's clearly a Spanish name, so it would be pronounced Hezaye. Makes sense.
Is Hey, Zaya.
22nd November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendant's Antechamber 5.
Excellent work, Ryounosuke. That was superb.
No, I'm certainly we're not gonna finish this tonight, I don't think. Especially since we started late. My heart was in my mouth the entire time.
It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you had started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer.
Forget it, that's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't want to see the inside of a courtroom again.
Bet. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last.
Be a wild rest of an Ace Attorney game if you didn't.
Miss Giselle Brett, A student from Great Britain, is she?
That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along.
Yes, you have, haven't you?
I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of.
Yes, I can see that. So about this young gentleman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that?
No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. And just after I bent down and picked it up... Bang! I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. What?
As thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay.
Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Oh, there you are. Well done, both of you. I don't remember what this fool sounded like. Oh, right, he was J. Jonah Jameson.
J.K. Yeah. Professor Mikutaba.
Well, it seems I was
However
right.
you're supposed to say that.
The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say.
Mikotobo. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial.
Yeah, listen. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why... I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may
Miku
have...
Hatsune.
I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled.
Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst... If I'm the kind of man who can't help his friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway.
What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma? Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA, and it was I who invited him. Oh, I see.
I didn't know that before.
Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible.
But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide.
I don't know why every time it's just an exclamation point, I go monkey instantly. I just revert. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair would put up a good fight right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. I think you were just doing quiet.
I was just doing very quiet. Of course.
What?
What?
Defendant Naruhodo, court recess is over. Please make your way back inside to the courtroom at once.
It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old boomers know what hit them.
Yeah. Kazuma?
What?
Thank you. Really.
What for?
Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already been found guilty by now.
Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend.
Coming from you, that means a lot.
Oh, you will be.
If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial.
You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. It's time.
22nd November, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. Oh, we've missed the noon deadline.
Yeah, judge just stopped caring. The judge went, I decide the deadlines now.
This court hereby resumes the trial of Ryounosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aoshi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Sorry?
Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forge with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Well, you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders?
Again, terribly sorry.
If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on.
I love Kazuma so much.
He's stone cold. It's weird seeing an Ace Attorney game day, an Ace,
Say sukiyaki
Ace
instead of something
Attorney
like roast
game
beef.
say sukiyaki instead of saying something like roast beef. I'll treat you to a fresh packet of mozzarella sticks. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryounosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up! Shut up, you jumped-up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder, too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all.
Well said, Ryounosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
Little brats!
Thank you, counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Yes.
What did his face do just now?
I don't
Your
know.
Excellency!
I know that's A-targeting Japan's current justice system state. What the fuck?
Her hat is a bird. Her hat is a bird.
Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan,
I
and
don't
from
like
such a
that
distant
smile.
land.
Tea. Someone brings English tea. In England, no discussions take place without tea.
Is that true?
No idea. I'm Japanese.
So,
Ryounosuke.
ahem. Could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
He's doing the super, like, Japanese-friendly thing, and I kinda hate it.
I do hate it, yeah.
Of course. My name is Satoru Hasanaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at Le Carnival, but my true...
Yes, we know all about you already.
Inspector Hasanaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first.
Is that true?
No idea.
I'm still Japanese.
I'm still from Japan, Ryounosuke. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of.
So, yes, I think I did, didn't I?
Oh no, that's a target in Japan's I don't know why your wife insisted on putting the A in there.
Maybe A targeting? I don't know. I don't know what that means, if that's
Yep.
true.
A targeting.
Yep.
Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryounosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking.
Guilty.
She has a bird on her head, Ryounosuke. An
So,
entire
David-
bird!
Once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god.
Are you what in it?
Oh no! She's speaking in English!
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What?
Oh, in it, cup of tea, mate.
Are you just gonna like spout random half British
Crumpet
as
biscuits.
the you got with biscuit?
The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in Yume University's medical faculty.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird song.
Sorry. The fact that he's like the dulcet tones and my brain just instantly went, oh, what's always saying? It's just like
the thing that I did 20 seconds ago.
that just like that noise filled my brain. Like I was at a football match and I just couldn't take the disparity. As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough.
Yes, I agree. You obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it?
Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryounosuke.
The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct?
Did you just join a restaurant, Brett, in it?
In it?
Yeah, biscuits to gravy football.
I
She
hate
says
you
yes.
so much.
She says yes. This could
I'm
take
gonna
some time.
die. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. That's weird.
Now I'm just making noises with a British accent. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately.
Interesting. When you're the one who's engineered her escape.
I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight.
You mean to say?
How she's eating the whole boot.
Just the whole boot.
Crunch.
Engulfing it.
Like unhinging his jaw like a snake. Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused standing right there in this courtroom shot the victim in cold blood. Well.
Order in the court.
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is.
Oh, he popped the sword out a little bit.
Oh my god. I'm going to stab her, Ryounosuke. Don't stop me.
Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described.
Nod. Why is she covering her eyes important, or is this just a weird character thing? A frightening... It's hard to tell sometimes with Ace Attorney designs whether, like, the way they look means anything, or if it's just weird, because it's weird. A frightening and sorrowful sight. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Well, that's okay.
It wasn't me.
Yes!
This is a condemning test.
I didn't do that one, I promise. No, I didn't have any kind of
I know you
argument
didn't.
with the professor at all.
Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard! Look at this snow-white angel! I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe.
You're still making the same mistakes, Ryounosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn.
No, but he's so annoying. Of course, I was at
So
the scene
are
as
you.
well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go.
The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however.
Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there was nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm.
Are you sure?
I swear to God, if the goose is a gun. I swear
With
to
a swan.
if I swear to fucking God, if there is a gun in that bird.
Also, like, there is... I just love the statement. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
like, I love that statement. You couldn't hide a gun anywhere on this extravagantly dressed person.
I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to.
Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those
Well,
are the
that's
witness's
probably
own
true.
words on the matter. Ugh,
The second
that's
part is
ridiculous.
false.
If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Don't.
Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryounosuke.
But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day.
You're You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart.
Smile. Yeah!
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Cross-examination. A frightening and sorrowful sight. I arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. Nothing weird about that, I don't think. Professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Yes! Yes!
Yes!
I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over to say hello. Please don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese.
No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. English is the future. We must all speak English.
I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever, or only in the presence of a beautiful woman,
Oh, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be.
It may be.
Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat.
That part ties in with what you said, doesn't it?
Yes, I still had some coffee to drink.
The next time you got up after that...
That's when I'd finished my coffee and stood up to leave. Smile. And not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Okay, so if he was shot from the front and she was sitting in the other chair, because the chair he was in was turned away from the table, so that can't be true.
Yeah, but he was in the chair in front of the beefsteak, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
He was in her chair.
So let's press this. Yes! Oh, right, because, I mean, they would have had time to rearrange the crime scene, because they fucking shoved Ryounosuke in a cabinet. Like I said, I did not shoot that gun.
And like I said, there's no point in repeating that assertion over and over.
Well, I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side.
Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out in the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand.
Well, yes, that's true, but all I did was pick up a gun I saw on the floor next to the professor as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at that time. The highly suspicious lady in the
That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel.
Dirty?
Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy.
It seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours.
What nonsense.
The lady is merely stating what she saw. And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. I mean, bullshit, but yes! It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely. I verified it personally. You verified it? Yes, immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not." That's all you did? You just asked her?
Surely you carried out a physical search, Inspector.
No. Why on earth not?
The honorable English gentlewoman clearly stated she did not possess a weapon. There was obviously no need for further probing into the matter.
Or there was no permission given for any further probing into the matter, perhaps.
Think what you will, but if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the refined lady was concealing a firearm, the prosecution demands you support your assertion with facts.
In other words, he wants evidence.
But I don't have that. The lady wishes to point out that of course she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation, but she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave.
Not to mention the fact that your office had told you to get the woman out of there.
Not get her out of there. I just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point out that she in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime. Which is why she is only too happy to cooperate and testify here in court today, of course.
Unlike a certain student who refuses to admit when the game is up. You could at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you.
So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him.
Which is an out-and-out, totally unfounded lie.
Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in a dull black school uniform.
I'm dressed exactly the same way as you for, except for the flapping red ribbons.
Yes, but I'm so much more elegant in it, aren't I? Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it is. If we can't do that, the trial's over. Even you with your thick skin must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room.
Only too well. I feel half dead already. And the fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony doesn't make me feel any better either.
The first thing to do is press her on any of her statements that seem even slightly off to you. Do that, and an opening will present itself. I promise you.
I need to expose the true face of this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask. That's what I should be aiming for in this cross-examination.
Call her a dumb hoe.
You're a dumb hoe. Wait for a slightly late lunch, and while we press the other ones.
Yes!
Yes! After 2 p.m., in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
Objection!
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are en vogue, isn't that right?
No. Decisive English no.
A decisive English no.
Sorry.
I will kill you where you stand.
I'm so sorry.
A decisive English no has quite a sting to it.
The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would eat lunch together.
But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first.
Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett had the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late.
Yes, that all makes perfect sense.
Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is.
So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next?
I just want to press on this last statement.
Yes!
Yes! He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at the Hata Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering.
Was Miss Brett aware of that fact?
It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left?
Dear me, what a harrowing experience! To have traveled to a distant land on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all?
That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryounosuke, about the witness's last statement?
I will kill you where you stand.
Oh, sorry.
What do you think, Ryounosuke, about the witness's last statement?
I didn't even think about that one. I was just reading. It's very meaningful.
You even slightly did the voice that I did.
know. The last statement
What's your
of yours,
fucking
Miss Brett,
deal, man?
has a profound bearing on this case.
Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing,
The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. Ouchie is a simp. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Well sidestepped, counsel.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony.
Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Cosma. I'm going to remember that one.
Which one?
The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase.
I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryounosuke.
There are not. Okay, I ordered a beefsteak for myself and the professor, and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. We're not gonna do this tonight because it's time. But there's only one fucking glass of water on that table.
Yeah. Where's the other glass?
Where's the other glass?
Where is it?
Where's the other glass?
Where's the other glass? Where's the other glass?
Alright, so I can
Where
save.
is that other glass?
I can save from here, right? Yes, I can. Excellent. Alright, well, that's gonna do it for tonight. We'll be back
It's a
tomorrow.
long tutorial case.
Yeah, I know, right? It's quite lengthy. It's a girthy case.
Girthy.
So we'll be back tomorrow night with this again, because Swissy's supposed to be on Fridays, and he can't be. So we're gonna play Ace Attorney some more. Because I make the rules on this channel, and I want to play some goddamn Ace Attorney. And also Josh has to do what I say. Totally, for sure, absolutely. That's definitely true.
Oh no.
Don't look
You
into
didn't tell
that
me
too
that.
much. Anyway, yeah, have a good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Don't read the subtext
Bye.
Steven didn't think about.